The Chicago Bears have signed 5 members of its 2025 rookie class, and we'll talk about the ones that have not signed yet and what could be holding that back. Plus, the Bears get ranked pretty high in one of the most impactful draft classes. Talk about all that, plus the mailbag, right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Hayes, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go and get into this content for today, y'all. And the Chicago Bears have signed 5 members of its 2025 rookie class, headlined by Colston Loveland, who is the earliest first-round pick to sign by the Chicago Bears since Kevin White, I believe. The 10th overall pick signed a fully guaranteed $26.64 million contract with a $16 million signing bonus. Now, this is, when you look at how rookie contracts are slated, right, isn't a lot when it comes down to as far as leeway. The guaranteed money is really the thing that you're looking at when it comes down to that. And, he wasn't the only member that signed, but, it was really good that Colston Loveland got locked in there. And shout out to C-Dub, who was able to do the breaking news episode on that happening, and that's a really good deal for Colston Loveland. The Bears also signed Ruben Hippolyte, also Zay Frazier, the offensive lineman, the guard Luke Newman, and running back Kyle Manangai all signed their deals on Thursday, which is really big for the Chicago Bears. So, that leaves the Bears basically all their second-round picks are the ones that have not signed their contracts yet. That's Luther Burden III, Ozzie Tripilo, and Shamar Turner are the ones that are still out there that have not signed their rookie contracts yet. But again, rookie minicamp's going on this weekend. I would expect the deal to get done at some point between now and then, and when training camp opens in July for sure, right? And I think all that's going to be done. It's not really any question. It's just how it gets done over when it comes down to, and it probably comes down to some language in the deal, right? If every other member of the draft class has signed, but these guys have not signed yet, it means that there just may be some language that them and their agents want in there that aren't necessarily in there as of yet. So those deals are coming, though. Wouldn't worry too much about that when it comes down to it. But the Bears, are getting things done. And, this rookie class, when you look at it, they all have their own expectations and their own things that we're hoping that they bring to the Chicago Bears next year, especially Colston Loveland. And him being that 10th overall pick, people are looking at him, 21 years old, that he's going to be a big part of the Chicago Bears offense in year one. We know he's still rehabbing from injury. He's going to be ready to go, though. But, and that's not to, again, as we talked about many times this week, this is not about, negating Cole Kmet or saying that Cole Kmet's not, but Colston Loveland and his skill set is almost so perfectly made and tailored for what Ben Johnson likes to do that's where the excitement lays in there with Colston Loveland. And so hopefully he's able to bring that, right? He's the third tight end drafted in the first round in Bears history, joining Mike Ditka and Greg Olsen. So there's going to be a lot of expectations around Colston Loveland, and you have a play caller that's going to be able to use him, hopefully a lot better when it comes down to it. Hippolyte is the guy, of course, that a lot of people have some questions on what's going to happen with Hippolyte, but I'm not too worried about it. I think it'll all get done. Hippolyte's a guy that, if Dennis Allen wanted him here, Dennis Allen has a plan for him. And it's really up to Hippolyte coming in here, and he's going to be able to, to shine and do some things. Kyle Manangai is another guy, of course, with being a 7th-round pick. But people are starting to look at him. I love that you start seeing the recognition, right? People who are starting to really realize, like, hey, the Bears may have gotten themselves a steal here in round 7. Now, it's up to a lot of things to happen, right? And I've said it before. If Kyle Manangai turns into a part of a tandem backfield and you got that in the 7th round, that's amazing versatility there and value out of 7th-round pick. But if he turns out to be more than that, if he turns out to be a guy that as the season goes on plays more, keep in mind, you remember that Roshan, like towards the end of his rookie year, he was playing more snaps, right? And I'm not saying that I necessarily see that trajectory or have to see that trajectory for Kyle Manangai for it to be a great pick. But I think as you look in and see how things develop for him as he earns more opportunities and things like that, you can clearly see why Manangai could be a vital part, not vital, could be a big part and weapon and tool utilized in Ben Johnson's scheme because of the pass blocking that he brings, his ability to run between the tackles, and the fact that the dude is a damn pit bull. He's a pit bull in pads. Like he just run. If you told Kyle Manangai that he had to run through a wall, I guarantee you he would find a way to run through that wall and not get hurt. That's really what I think. That may be overstating some things, but I tell you what, he is a absolute, like, watching this guy run. It's crazy to say, right? It's just a crazy thing to watch a guy that's his stature, his size. But when you look at him play the game of football, you don't think about any of that. You just think about how he's handling shit. And best believe he is absolutely handling shit out there when he's out there on the football field. So I think a lot of people see highly and speak highly of Kyle Manangai as they're starting to really watch his tape and realize, like, the Bears, they may have did something here as far as, because Brashard Smith was a guy that I did think as the draft went on and he was still on the board that the Bears would take. They didn't. And that's fine. And, when you start Manangai wasn't even a guy that I scouted for the Bears. Like, keep that in mind. I did 2 episodes on running backs not named Ashton Genty that the Bears could take, and Kyle Manangai was not on neither one of those. That's a blind spot in me, right? I'm not even blaming Kyle Manangai for that because the dude was an absolute beast in college football, and it was just a complete overlook. But guess what? That's where the Bears can benefit from. So, we'll see. But another thing as well, like, the Bears also did assign jersey numbers, which is expected, to their rookie class. If you guys want to get any of these, Colston Loveland will have number 84 when it comes down to that. Luther Burden will rock number 87 after rocking number 3 in college. Ozzie Tripilo will have number 75. I believe he had number 70 in college, if I'm not mistaken. You had Shamar Turner's going to have number 95. Then you have Ruben Hippolyte, who's going to wear number 47. He wore 11 in college. Zay Frazier's going to wear number 20. And then you have Luke Newman, who's going to wear number 65, and Kyle Manangai, who's going to wear number 25. So, that's what it comes down to with that one. But this rookie class, this rookie mini camp, I can't wait to hear about the things that come out of it. Shout out to our boy Pat, the designer, who's actually going to get to go to the Chicago Bears rookie mini camp. That's going to be huge to see. But this is important, man. The Bears, and they were voted as having one of the most impactful rookie classes. And here's what I'll say with that. I take that hugely, mainly because saying that impact isn't necessarily saying the names or whatever. It's saying how are they viewed to come in and impact your team. That's what it comes down to. And I really like that, man, because I do think that when you look at how Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen can use some of these guys, that, the Bears ranking in the top 10 as most impactful draft classes. I listen, I love that my team's there. I love that my team's mentioned there. They're ranked at number 6. To go over that top 10, let's start off at number 1. The Las Vegas Raiders were listed as having the most impactful rookie class with Genty, Jack Beck, Caleb Rogers, Dante Thornton, the wide receiver there, Darian Porter, and Tonka Hemingway. Then you had the Buffalo Bills, were ranked at number 2 with drafting Maxwell Hartston, T.J. Sanders, Landon Johnson at the edge, Deion Walker, and then Jordan Hancock as well. And then you had the New England Patriots, even though they didn't have as many draft picks, they were ranked as number 3. They got Will Campbell, Travion Henderson, Kyle Williams, Craig Woodson, and Joshua Farmer. Really good, really, I hate to say it, but the Patriots did get a pretty damn good rookie class there. The New York Giants were ranked at number 4 with them getting Abdul Carter and Darius Alexander, Cam Scatterboo as well. Marcus Mbow, another guy that they got there that really does help that team. They got a really solid draft class. The Baltimore Ravens at number 5 with Malachi Starks, Mike Green, highlighting their draft class. And, of course, the Chicago Bears, we already know we got it. Carolina Panthers were ranked at number 7 with TM there, Nick Scarton and Princely there being their draft picks, even though they didn't have a lot of them. Kansas City Chiefs ranked at number 8. The Los Angeles Rams ranked at number 9 there. And then the Washington Commanders came in at number 10. So that's where the standing ranks. But let's hope that we, in postseason rankings for most impactful draft class, let's hope we look back and say that this was a very impactful draft class for the Chicago Bears. I'm going to maintain some hope there. But all right, let's get into the mailbag today. It is Friday. That is mailbag day. That is the focus of the episode. This first one This one's from Keys.
Yo, 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 what's up, guys? It's your boy Keys, man, on this lovely Monday afternoon. Hope all is well with you and yours. But let's get to it. So, I know everybody's been talking about the running back possibilities with Dobbins and Chubb. I'm more of a Chubb guy. Would love to have him here. Dobbins, up and down a little bit. But I wanted to switch it up a little bit and ask this. Do you think it's a possibility that if we don't get Chubb or Dobbins, that we actually go after Smith, Zadarius Smith, I believe his name is, the kid that got traded from Cleveland and went to the Lions? Is there a strong possibility he got cut from the Lions? Do we feel like we have enough where that could also be a versatility where we got 3 D tackles right now for sure that's going to play in Javon Dexter, Grady Jarrett, or 4, and then you got the rookie, Shamar Turner. Could you see them adding more stock to it with us just having possibly 3 rush guys? I know we just gave Dio that money, but could he benefit? Could it be something that we could see? Even though I think Dio might have an actual better year than what we think. I don't know. We don't see, but it's making me question them. Like, man, Zadarius Smith, he could be a veteran help, veteran leadership. Another guy who Ben Johnson knows, who we bring in. So, it just came up on my mind. But as always, let me know what you guys think. Shots out up, bear down.
Zadarius Smith, I think the Bears are really content with what they have at their defensive line. I get it that we didn't make the flashy name signings and things like that. But I think getting Grady Jarrett, getting Dayo there, still having Austin Booker, Daniel Hardy, you still got Big Billings there, as well as a depth piece behind Javon Dexter and Grady Jarrett. You still got Montez Sweat there. I think we're fine. And I think this Bears team and this defense, I talked about that a little bit yesterday, I think they feel content in what they have here. I mean, could you add some more depth? Yeah, but I don't think the Bears are really kind of focused on that. If they make a veteran acquisition, I think it's going to be running back if they make one. But they're going to go through training camp, and they're going to evaluate. Now, if for some reason coming through training camp, they feel like some players aren't where they want them to be or need them to be or things like that, then maybe. But I really get the feeling that this is a team that's very confident in what they've built here with their defensive line. So, no, I don't think they're going to go and make one. I think they're confident. And let's see how guys step up. Javon Dexter, how's he going to step up in year 3 now after stepping up pretty well in year 2? We need to see that run defense shore up a little bit for him. How do Daniel Hardy and Austin Booker, have they stepped up? And Dayo Dingbo's there he's really trying to prove some things. So I don't necessarily think this is going to be a team that's looking to make a veteran acquisition on the defensive line, but we'll see how it all shakes out. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Chris Evans.
Good morning, CBC. It's Chris Evans again. I'm calling back. I just decided to call after the Cole Kmet trade rumors live feed. I'm going to try to condense my call this time. But yeah, basically all I wanted to say was that Braxton Jones should be further along than he is now as a year 3 guy. I think he's made progress as far as limiting his penalties. And I think even his hand placement has gotten better. It's not the best still, but it's okay. But I see him putting his hands where he needs to be as far as in the chest, in the shoulder pads of the defender. The problem, he can't drop his weight. He doesn't have any feet. When these defenders spin around him, he can't stay in front of them, right? When they obviously bull rush him, they are just knocking him on his behind. They're knocking him on his behind. And we've even seen it a few times where he's literally getting shoved right into Caleb. So those are 2 things for me as a former left tackle and defensive tackle in high school, right? Like, his cadence got a lot better. That's how he was able to stop the penalties. But as far as, hand placement, we got to keep up with the hand placement. We got to be able to drop our feet, drop our hips, and, anchor. So that way if he's bull rushing, push him back or move him to the side. It's easier, especially if you're shorter, as a left tackle to move to the side. And, of course, if he's swimming, keep your hands up. Or if he spins, stay in front of him. So let me know what you guys think. As a year 3 guy, don't you think he should be further along than where he is now? And what should he work on as far as being a left tackle on the blind side? Chicago up, there now.
Braxton Jones, penalties, his inability to handle the bull rush, those are his biggest flaws. And you said year 3. Year 4, we're going into year 4 with Braxton, right? I do think he should be further along. We can talk about the hand placement and things like that, and that's going to improve. I think the things you have to look at is how much is improving because of where his ceiling is, or how much is improving just because he's going into his 4th year in the NFL, and you should have learned to refine some things between now and where you started at, right? But like I said, I think that the thing comes down to is where do they see Braxton Jones' ceiling compared to Ozzie Tripilo's floor? And that's the question there, right? If they see Ozzie Tripilo's floor being Braxton Jones' ceiling, Ozzie Tripilo, even if he does have some learning curves, of course, as a rookie, he's going to learn, he's probably going to start. So I think that's what it comes down to, man. Braxton, I do think people are too harsh on him in some areas, but I also think that the scrutiny around him is still warranted. So, overall, I think it just comes down to as well, like Braxton hasn't shown enough because he's also a free agent and you have to pay him. And I don't think he's shown enough. I think a guy like Ozzie Tripilo is going to be able to come in and give you what Braxton Jones gives you. My personal opinion. We'll see how it shakes out. All right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from Aaron.
What up, hey? This Aaron. I was just sitting there watching your episode, Joe. Your son came in the room. I thought that was a dope little moment. And that shit was just funny as hell. Like, man, motherfucker touched some coochie, man. I was just sitting there crying, laughing. I'm like, nah, for real, though. Motherfuckers is like panicking a little too much. Because I ain't gonna lie, like, I've been a Bears fan, man, 32 years, and I feel like this is one of the best positions we've been in a long time, man. I know, everybody said that last year and last couple of years with the first round picks and all that. The only why I say that, though, because, man, the draft capital that we just got the last couple of years is solid ass draft capital from Darnell Wright, Caleb Williams, Doomsday, Stevenson, all the way to this season, Burden, Tripilo. Damn, who else did we get this year? Manangai. We got a couple guys this year, you know what I'm saying? Well, I feel like we really gonna get busy. Colston Loveland. But on top of that, those are all our rookies. Like our second year players. Man, we got real starters out there. Like everybody was saying how they think Burden gonna replace DJ Moore. Nah, it ain't that serious right now. I don't think that's about to happen. But I feel like when it comes down to it, though, if it is an option for us to move on, we gonna be in good position with everybody. Like, we're gonna start with Braxton Jones. I feel like Braxton Jones. All right, if Braxton Jones is going here and start, he got some veterans around him now. I feel like Braxton Jones' level of play will go up even better. Now, Braxton Jones ain't no Bob in the barrel ass left tackle, but he ain't no great left tackle either. So that's why I said we got time to sit back and develop a couple players like Tripilo. I think Tripilo is our left tackle of the future. I really ain't trying to see how the Darnell Wright switching over. Darnell Wright to be all pro right tackle this season. I'm calling it out right now. But make a long story midget though, I just feel like we in a nice little position right now because the Bears, man, we loaded up right now. Man, I'm looking at our defense. That defensive line, man, if Montez Sweat plays to the level that we paying him at, and the level I think, I'm hoping he plays at, man, this defense can get real ugly. Y'all know we Chicago, man. We can say we ain't never really had no shitty ass defenses like that. We known for this is our bread and butter. But my thing is to say, man, we got a lot of depth on that D line, especially at D tackle, and it's, we got Grady Jarrett. And I feel like Javon Dexter about to take that step up because he's going to learn so much from Grady Jarrett. And, like I said, we got Bill Lynch, Lamar Turner. Man, who knows what Zach Pickens could show up. You weren't even banking on him, but I'm just saying, like, it's so much depth at the tackle position. I feel like it's going to take a lot of pressure off Montez Sweat where he's just going to shine.
Braxton Jones, an all-pro tackle? Come on, man. That would be crazy. I mean, if he is, right? And the thing, if Braxton Jones turns into an all-pro tackle this year, then the Bears are probably going to keep him. Or maybe not because of how expensive it could make him. We don't know, but that's crazy. But I do think I said it on the episode as well, like this defensive line is going to be nasty. This is going to be a defensive line that's putting motherfuckers in the dirt. That's what this defensive line is going to be. I fully believe that. So we'll see how it all shakes out, but I think that the defensive line this season is going to be shaped up to really give the Bears what they need, what they want, and have an identity about them. And that's what we need here is the identity on that defensive line. We need teams to feel it when they play the Chicago Bears. Between TJ Edwards and the level he plays with, Kyler Gordon, what he's going to be able to do, but you get that front four. You get that front four to really come out here and give you what you freaking need to build off that identity. Montez Sweat has to step up this year. All of that. I think this is going to be a defensive line that's going to make motherfuckers feel it. And that's really what I want, is to make motherfuckers feel like they just got done playing the Chicago Bears. But all right, let's get into the next one, man. This one's from DJ.
Hey, this is DJ Farrell. I have a take. My take is that for years we've been going back and forth as Bear fans. I'm 47. I got a 20-year-old son. We go at it. Hey, dude, look who we got. This is how I talk to him. Dude, look who we got now. Dad, we're still the Bears. But he'll cheer when we're winning. I'm like, dude, we got to ride through and through. This is my take. We have to trust this process. A lot of fans I was going back and forth with, on a daily about Poles. It wasn't a knock on Poles. It was like, let Poles do his job. From the beginning, to me, we did everything backwards. We hired the coach, the GM, then the president. Then they got rid of the coach, let the GM do his job and get his guy in there. So now you letting him get his guy. Now that he has his guy and he's doing his thing, I just want to see where this goes. We got a new coach, offensive minded, and he's originally a tight end coach, and he got the number one tight end that he wanted, and people didn't even want the pick. And then, like, a lot of people didn't like. I watch you guys daily, every day. I'm in Cali. A lot of people didn't like the linebacker we drafted because he was short. Trust the process. He's 5'11". Sam Mills, Hall of Famer for the Saints, was 5'9". Like, hey, what they say on Hustle and Flow, it ain't the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. And they wanted speed at that position, linebacker position. And this dude is faster than Sanborn. I love Sanborn. He looked like a Chicagoan. I'm originally from Chicago. Been in Cali for 21 years. That's not here nor there. But all I'm saying is just trust the process. I'm loving what they're doing right now. And always, shy time up, bear down.
Should Bears fans trust the process? Yeah, I think that you have better alignment now. And, I'm not a guy that says, oh, well, Poles said it himself. I hold people to what they say. Like I said on the episode before, I like to hold players to what they say about themselves. That gives you something to hold them to, more so than just our expectations as fans. Brian Poles, out of his own mouth, said that he could have restarted the process. He chose not to. He hired Matt Eberflus. So I get it. Yeah, he was already interviewed before Poles came in here. But he did. And even outside of that, last summer, Ryan Poles was the one that went to bat for Eberflus to keep his job. Now, reportedly, he was also the first one in the middle of the season to want to fire Matt Eberflus, and he was told, hey, let's chill out. Let's wait on that a little bit. But, so you get that. But overall, it does feel like there's better alignment, right? It feels like that. And I think that's what you want to have overall in this on your team. You want guys that are all in alignment, that all have the same mindset, and that see the vision together. And that's what it really feels like the Bears have built here over the summer, is a front office, a president, a GM, and a coaching staff that all sees the same thing, as far as they all see a vision of what they want and how to get there. You can see the same vision on what you want to get to, but not how to get there, and then that creates some tension. It seems like they all are on that same page, and that's what you want to see. So yeah, I think as of right now, let's trust it. But let's also make sure that we stay, it's not blind trust, right? I think people confuse when you say things like, well, trust the front office. Like, well, they did it. It's nobody saying blindly trust them. It's saying trust them. That means if you see something that's questionable, call it out. But don't go into it just thinking everything's going to be bad either, right? Let's see what this team's going to do. Let's see how they're going to cook. And, yeah, we'll see. All right, let's get into the last one, man. This one's from Speed.
Yo, it's your boy Speed. I'm calling out of Wisconsin, but I'm a Chicago road native. So I just wanted to say, man, this is my second time calling. I do want to start calling more, but hey, my son's birthday, man. Y'all know I'm raising him right. He's about to become a Chicago Bear. He a young Bear. But yeah, I just wanted to call and get some of my thoughts. I've been catching up on the show lately, and I want to say, I know everybody having like these concerns about the running back, Cole Kmet situation, the edge, all this different stuff, man. I'm personally more concerned about, our coaching staff, bro. Like, I know we got the names. I know we do. We got the personnel. I feel like the offense has gotten a lot better, you know what I'm saying, especially with Ben Johnson coaching. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the defense, we got, better defensive linemen because, if you're a real Bears fan, our pass rush sucks. So I feel like we got better in that area. Still a little concerned about, cornerback a little bit, but I'm more concerned about what these coaches going to do to improve our players and the personnel that we got now. I don't think that's being talked about enough. In our history, we really ain't never really been no threat offensively like that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody never been worried about, here goes Chicago's offense. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, that hopefully Ben Johnson could be that, person for us and, Caleb Williams take the next steps. But I'm more concerned about that. Can we finally average at least 20-some points a game? You know what I'm saying? We always been a good defensive team, besides these last couple years. But, I'm even looking for that to become better too, Dennis Allen. And I don't think it's fair for everybody to be judging Cole, Swift, or even Caleb at that with what our offense and our team went through last year. All these different coaches we had to go through, firing our defensive coordinator and, Shane Waldron just being a complete idiot. Eberflus just not having a clue of what he's doing. So I'm looking to see what we can do consistently, and if we can keep the same coaching staff around for a while. So, man, I just got, questions to see, because, again, they look good on paper, but can we do this, you know what I'm saying, in real life, and can these coaches bring out the best in our players? So, you already know I don't want to take up too much time, but I do support, I watch the show. Again, as always, Chicago up.
You hit the nail on the head, man. The Bears have never really been looked at as an offense. Every time the Bears have been a good team to a great team, it's been mainly because of our defense. And so, yeah, can we get a 4,000-yard passer, right? Can we get that thing? And I think Ben Johnson's here to bring that identity, to get the Bears into the 21st century as far as let's have a modern offense, let's have a dynamic offense with a dynamic quarterback and weapons around it to where I think this is going to be probably the most fun Chicago Bears offense that we've ever seen. Now, fun doesn't necessarily mean success, right? You gotta, we'll see with that one, but I think this is definitely going to be the most fun, the most dynamic offense that we've ever seen from the Bears. Let's hope that we have success while doing that, because then you can continually build off that and you now have an identity. This could be the first Bears team that has an offensive identity to match along with a defensive identity that I also think they're building with Dennis Allen. So, yeah, let's hope that we get there. I got mad hope for this team, and we'll see how it shakes out. But that's my time for today, guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related, but that's thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.